welcome to Talking Funny. It's the show that talks about the topics relevant to Chicago's improvisational comedy community. I'm your host today. My name is Sasha, and I'm an international hilarious comedian. This over here is my sidekick. His name is The Noob, only but he doesn't talk because he has a little horse in his throat. It's a little horse. Also we host the Chicago Crazy Life game show. It's called Don't Spit the Water, and you can learn more about the show at www.don'tspitthewater.com. And hey, I want to tell you that this show is put on by the Playground Theater, which is a non-profit improv comedy co-op, and that means so non-profit means every penny that the theater makes, it goes back into the theater, and for the programs at the theater. Now, improv comedy means they don't have a script and they make a lot of stuff up for the shows. And the co-op means the theater's owned and by the people who do the work. So the stage and the bathroom and the box office, it's all the same people that do that. And they have a website. Let me show you. It's www.the-playground.com. So that's the playground. If you want more information, you should go to the website. They have a whole bunch of programs. So recess programs for improv comedy for little kids and stuff. I want to say we're going to take a few calls in a minute to talk about improv comedy in Chicago. But this show is about the playground give a service to the improv community. So we're going to talk about some topics about comedy. Right? Isn't that right, the noob? This pretty cool. So we'll take some calls. And if you're not an improviser or involved in this pretty big community, it's take a listen and maybe you can call and ask some questions about some stuff. So the noob and I, we're going to tell some jokes. And hey, do we have a caller who maybe wants to tell a joke with us? If you want to have a joke, why don't you call the show and we can tell a joke with you. But first, the noob and I will start a little bit. Hey, the noob. And viewing audience is what is a drill sergeant? Is the question. Do we have anybody who... Nobody... It's an army dentist, is the answer. If you want to come and have a joke, you can give us a call. We'll tell a joke with you. Hey, what is a dimple? Is the question. What's a dimple? It's a pimple going the other way, is the answer. It looks like we're going to have a caller in a second. So, hey caller, how are you doing today?
Hello, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Do you want to have a joke with us?
I think you do a very good show.
Thank you.
And I want to ask you, what is a drill sergeant?
It's a dentist.
Is a dentist?
I forget. That was on my page. Did I tell that joke before?
No, you don't tell it before.
Well, you must have the same book at home then.
No, I heard you ask what is a drill sergeant.
Oh, what was the answer?
I don't know. I'm just
It's an army dentist.
Oh, it's an army dentist. Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a good night.
Okay, you too.
That was we had the caller for about the drill sergeant. So if you have any questions about the improv community, call. We're going to have a guest in a few minutes besides jokes, and we'll talk about producing shows in Chicago. So later, if you want to know maybe about how do I produce a call in Chicago. Hey, we have a caller. Hey, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I have two nephews that are probably really interested in in the playground theater.
That's great.
Do you have any tickets to to see your show?
Well, I'll tell you. You know what? We can tell you about that in a second. But I have a question for you. Is why was 6 afraid of 7? Do you think?
Why was 6 afraid of 7?
Yeah. Because this is 7. No, but yeah, if you want to learn about tickets for the Playground Theater, you can give a call to the Playground. Here's the phone number. And you can go to the website too. And we have a lot of shows for children and also for grown-ups. You know, every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, there's lots of crazy, hilarious comedy shows. But for ticket information, follow the magic finger to www.the-playground.com. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay, you have a good night, sir.
Alright, bye.
Thank you for calling. That's great. You know, and the playground has part of their outreach program is like they'll go into schools for children and they'll kind of teach them comedy and stuff and do some jokes with the kids. For instance, one of the noob's favorite jokes, and maybe if you know the answer, you can give a call, is what are Southern fathers called? Maybe, oh, we have a caller who has a guess. Hey, caller.
Booga, booga, booga.
Oh, no, and no, the answer to that was Southpaws. But, you know what? It looks to me like we just had the call from the Mini. Sometimes the Mini calls this show and likes to just make crazy noises, so we'll have to keep an eye out for the Mini. I hope he doesn't call us again. Hey, so anyway, in a minute, I want to tell you more. Like the playground is non-for-profit theater, and they do all sorts of comedy shows to raise money for things. So if you're a non-for-profit and you want to raise money for your organization, we give you the theater for free, and we'll even provide the entertainment, and then we'll work like a split of the door, so you can raise some money for your non-for-profit organization. And again, if you want to learn more about that, you give a call. Oops, hold on a second. not to Mr. Dum Dum there. But you want to give a call to the Playground Theater. It's www.theplayground.com. Oh, we're having such a good time here. Hey, we have a caller.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing, caller?
I'm great. How are you?
We're doing pretty good, so thank you for calling. Are you an improviser?
Yes.
What's your question?
My question is, where did you get those vests?
Oh, you want to know where we got the vests? Well, that looks like we had Mr. Dum Dum on the phone. Who's calling? Let me tell you, Mr. Dum Dum, these are sparkly vests, and they are made from the comedy company. So, don't be a dum dum. And anybody have a question about some improv comedy?
Well, that's comedy.
What do you have for us,
Hello?
caller? Hello,
Hello.
caller.
I want to know why is it that the guy with the whistle never talks? Does he have a voice?
Well, that's a pretty good question. The answer, my friend, if you're listening before, is he has a little horse in his throat.
Yeah, maybe I'd like to see the other end, though.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Looks like we had another call from the Mini. Now, let's remember not to say bad language, because we're on the national television. So, okay. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the Playground Theater, and in a minute we're going to bring on our guest, Mr. Don Hall. And hey, if you have a question about producing a comedy show in Chicago, you should give us a call and talk to him in a couple of minutes. So, hey, it looks like we have a caller on the phone. Let's hear the caller. Hello, caller.
Hello. How do you do?
Pretty good.
Hey, I have a question. I wonder if you could explain the difference to me between short form improv and long form improv.
That's a pretty...
I see some of it on TV, but I'm not sure which is which and why.
No, I'm so glad you asked that question. Let me explain to you. It's like a lot of people do something called short form improv comedy in the city, and some people do something called long form improv in the city, which if you don't know, I just want to explain that's the way it is. So, but short form is like sometimes you have a game where it's like, hey, let's pretend who can look like have in a pirate ship, and then you come out and you pretend that you're on the pirate ship. And then with long form it's like, yeah, the noob shows you with the things. Long form is more like, hey, can we have a suggestion? And then for like 45 minutes you'll make a joke about that. I'm laughing. I should not be laughing. It's a good question. It's serious. But, you know, there's a lot of argument in Chicago, because Chicago is the home of long-form improvisational comedy. And this pretty much mainly was performed at the Playground Theater. But also, a lot of Chicago theaters like Comedy Sports and other places do something called short form. And if you have, maybe some people in the watching have an opinion about that. And you,
Earlier.
hello,
Hello.
hi, what's your opinion about that?
I would disagree that Chicago's the capital of just long form
No,
improv.
now hold on. I did not say it was the capital,
Oh.
but I said it was a home.
Oh, a home.
Yeah.
Okay, I would agree with that.
Okay, that's cool. So we see everybody agrees who calls. That's pretty cool. No, you know what? She's right. The caller made a good point. Is a lot of cities do long form improv comedy, and I did say the home, and it's my bad, it's a mistake. But kind of Chicago is really credited with kind of growing the art form, and but it's practiced very well all over the place. Hey, we have a caller.
Hello.
Hello.
I just wanted to tell you a joke.
Okay, that's great. Here's
knock,
the picture
knock.
of the caller, for
Oh.
example. But
Oh,
okay,
that's amazing. It
what's-
does look like me.
what's your joke?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Is that your real accent?
Is that your real accent? Who?
Uh,
It looks like that caller had the hiccups and the fell off the phone. Hey, but ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to somebody, and we're going to take some calls for him. Hello, caller. Just kidding.
Hello?
Hello, caller.
Hello, I'd like to know, do you travel with your stand-up comedy?
No, you know what? That's pretty.
Have you ever been to the...
Oh, what's the end of your question? I missed it. No, you know what? The Noob and I'm Sasha. This is The Noob, by the way, if you're tuning in. We do have a game show that we do every Saturday night at the Playground Theater behind us, and you can learn more about that show at don'tspitthewater.com. It's pretty fun. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to somebody right now. The giant hand. We're going to bring on our guest. His name is Don Hall, and he's the founder of the WNEP Theater. He's produced over 50 original productions in Chicago and designed a few sets as well. And Don is an actor, a director, playwright, improviser, all sorts of things. And he, most importantly, is the executive director of WNEP Theater. So let's say hello, Don. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Sasha?
I'm good. Thank you so much for
Noob.
coming to this show. That's the noob.
That's the noob.
And Don, you produce a whole lot of shows in Chicago, improv shows and scripted shows as well. Why don't you tell us? I know you were saying you had some tips about producing a show in the city. So if you want to talk about a couple of those or
Sure.
all of those as well.
Well, I teach a producing class, and I was thinking about today, and I have, I think, like 4 real basic tips on what you do when you produce if you want to produce successfully. One of the first ones, produce backwards.
Oh,
In
that's
other
smart.
words, in other words, start with. Don't think opening night is the end all be all, because you're going to mess yourself up. Start with the strike. You're done with the show. Who's taking stuff home? Who's going to put the props in the box and take it and put it in their basement? All the way on down until you just plan it out backwards. That way
Okay.
you know you have a contingency plan on if you get good reviews, what do you do? If you get bad reviews, what do you do? And so it's produced backwards.
That's pretty smart. And a lot of people, they try to produce forwards.
Well, they just kind of produce as it goes, which is, especially for improv shows, is awfully common, because when you do the show, you're just kind of making it up as you go along. And
It's
so
true.
since most improv producers are improvisers, they just kind of make it up as they go along, and
So-
that is not to their advantage.
Maybe you're saying like, so don't improvise the production.
Exactly.
Oh, that's very smart.
Exactly.
Very smart. Hey, maybe we'll get to some of those tips in a second. Hey, the noob. But do we have a caller with a question for Mr. Hall?
Yeah.
Hey, caller.
Hi, I'm calling for Don.
Hi.
Don,
Yep.
it's Angie.
Who?
Angie McMahon. I'm in a show with you right now.
I don't know who you are.
Well, no, Don,
This looks like we had a call from the Mini trying to pretend she knows Don Hall. Well,
Actually, Sasha, I do know Angie.
okay.
And
Who's the Mini now?
Yeah, I'm the
This
meeting.
guy.
I didn't cut her off.
True.
I didn't hit the drop call, but no,
That's true.
I'm in a show right now that Chemically Imbalanced Comedy is producing
Okay.
at the Conservatory. It's called The King's Proposal, or The Marriage of Princess Guido. I
Okay.
play the king, Angie plays the queen, and it's Friday nights at 8 o'clock.
Hey, where
through
can, like, if
October.
there's a website they can go to find out more about that show? Do you have a website for it?
www.ciccomedy.com. thirddot.com, I believe.
That's cool.
I didn't write that down.
We'll put that up on the screen
That's
for you
me.
right now.
That's me.
Mr. Dum Dum.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So Don, why don't you tell us another tip that you have about producing a show?
I think it's an important tip to be your audience. Take time before you actually do the show to go through the process of assuming that you don't know anything about your show. How do you find out about your show? What do you know about the show? How do you get to the show? Is it easy to get to? Is there parking? Is there not parking? Are the bathrooms clean? When you've got the thing with the fact that nobody's going to see movies in movie theaters anymore. It's primarily, when all the studies are done, primarily because it's a crappy experience. It's dirty. You're with some idiot with a cell phone, on and on and on. So they don't want to go do that. They'd rather do it at home. Theater, it's even more important because we charge more most of the time, and we don't have Bruce Willis.
You're right. And so what you're saying is like you have to create an experience that's worth coming to for the people, not only
beyond
the show.
the performance. Beyond the performance, make it something. It's like the best restaurants that you've ever eaten at have something much and way beyond the food. It's the customer service. It's how you feel there. It's how you feel when you leave. It makes you want to come back. And ultimately, that's what I think a lot of theaters kind of push to the wayside because they don't think about it.
No, that's pretty smart. For instance, the Noob and I, when we have a show, we put on this sparkly vest. So it's like a lot of comedy, they just wear a regular vest.
Exactly.
But we have, no, you know what? We want to show you also that aside from the comedy we do, we're going to have a sparkly vest.
And also the fact that you're matching. Your tie matches his vest, his tie matches your vest.
That's on accident.
It's freaking amazing.
That is pretty
what I'm
cool.
talking about.
Hey, do we have a caller for Don Hall? Hello, caller. That is...
I get that a lot.
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah.
Hello, caller.
Hello, I have a question. I'd like to know, has any of your comedians ever went to the Apollo Theater?
No, but we play music before our show from Shuby Taylor, and Shuby Taylor used to go to the Apollo Theater a lot, but he's not in our show. But to answer your question, we have heard of the Apollo Theater, but nobody has gone there. We have some actors who play at the playground.
Why?
What? Go on.
Why is it because you stink?
Now, hey now.
Hello.
Hello, caller.
Yeah, it's Angie, Don. You hung up on me.
I plugged.
Angie's phone keeps breaking. Now, if you're going to call us to say that we stink, I want to show everybody something very important.
Uh-oh.
This is Mr. Dum Dum. Why is he smiling? Because ignorance is bliss. Eh? So don't try not to call and say mean things.
And I can assure you, I'm sitting next to Sasha and right in front of the Noob, and they smell great.
Yes. Thanks, Don Hall.
Like rosebud.
So, who has a question? Do we have another caller with a question for Don Hall? Do we have a caller then? Oh,
No.
that's cool. I thought we had the caller. So, Don, tell us another tip about producing a show in Chicago.
Take your time. Plan the stuff out. It's very common in Chicago, especially in the comedy scene of, I got this great idea, man, and we got to put it up next month.
Yeah.
And a month isn't enough time to really plan a marketing campaign to really make sure that your show is excellent on all levels. I'm getting ready to work with a group with Molly Hale.
Okay.
And they've actually been taking material. Before I've even come and even seen any of the material, they're taking their material and performing it in some open mics and smaller venues to test the material out so that the material they're going to present to me to direct is stuff that they're already convinced is going to work. They've seen an audience. They know what an audience thinks of it. And I think that's smart. And I think a lot of if it's funny now, it'll probably be funny 6 months from now, unless it's political humor. And, beyond that, take your time and really make it work. It's too easy to just kind of throw it up there and hope it works. If you really design it and really plan it out, you have a greater chances for success.
That's also pretty smart. So, maybe, if there are any people out there who are producing a show right now and kind of going through the same growing pains and learning these lessons by themselves, why don't you give us a call? It's 312-738-1060. This over here under the thing. Yeah, so give us a call if you have a question for Don Hall, who produces a lot of shows in Chicago. Hey, we have a caller.
Hi.
Hello,
My
Paul.
name's Mike Rusty.
Okay.
I was just wondering what your last production was. My name is Mike Rusty.
Now, are you talking to Sasha and The Noob, or The Playground, or Don Hall? Because there's a whole bunch of productions, Mike Rusty.
Sorry. The
Wait.
gay guy in the red.
No, wait a second. That's pretty
Right.
mean.
My right, his right.
I think he said in the red.
In the red.
And Don has a red tie. Now he's our special guest, and we don't want to make jokes like that. Seriously. So if you have a mean joke, then the phone number is 312. I'm a big meanie, and you call that number, and we don't like meanies on the show. So hey, looks like we have a caller for. No, we don't have a
Well,
caller.
actually, I can answer that question
Okay.
because I am the gay guy. I mean, I'm not, but I am.
Nice.
I'm very happy all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
The last show we did for WNP was called Soiree Dada Neuwelthofen, and it was a nonsense piece of angry political theater. And we just got back from August from New York City, where we participated in the New York International Fringe Festival and did really, really well. Had great audiences, had great press, and it was a great time.
That's pretty great, Don. I mean, hey, and the Playground has productions all the time. They do, right now it's like at 8 o'clock, every night pretty much you can see shows. And one more time, if you want to learn more about the Playground Theater, which is a great non-for-profit theater, you should go to www.the-playground.com. And so, hey, if you have a question for us, you should give us a call, and we can answer questions about improv comedy or about where to find a sparkler vase. Or, hey, even if you want to try to answer a joke. I know there's somebody out there who thinks they know a punchline to a joke. So you should give us a call. Hey, let's try a joke with Don. Hey, Don, what brings the monsters babies?
What was it again?
What brings the monsters babies?
I don't know, Sasha. What brings the monsters babies?
Is the Frankenstork. And then here's a picture of the Frankenstork.
Oh, the
see right there.
Frankenstork.
Yay.
I thought you said store.
No, that's the
I
Frankenstork.
don't know what the Frankenstore is, but I get Frankenstork.
Hey, we have a caller on the phone. Hey, caller, do you want to hear a joke?
Yes?
Okay. Hey,
I'd like to sell one.
hey, caller, what's your name?
My name is Dave.
Dave what?
Dave, I cannot say that.
That's smart name.
My friends cannot know that I'm calling.
Okay, so Dave, what color is rain?
I'm sorry?
What color is rain?
It is clear.
No, it's watercolor.
That's a good one. Wait, can I tell you a joke then?
Okay, but make sure it's clean, Dave, because I have my finger on the button.
I'm being
with you.
clean, and that's hard.
Oh, I'm clean. I'm not a big medium like everybody else. Okay, check this out. Why don't robots get nervous?
How come, Dave?
Because they have nerves of steel.
They have what?
Nerves of steel.
I don't get it. What do you mean?
Nerves of steel,
Sorry, I guess I don't understand.
because the nerves
Hey, but you know
are
what?
steel.
It's good to try. If you have, maybe you make a joke and you want to test it out, because Dave had a joke, it doesn't make any sense, and that's fine. Don gets it, but I think Don's patronizing Dave a little bit. So, hey, give us a call. So, Don, maybe you have another tip about, you know what, I have a question for you, actually.
All right.
It's like you've seen so much improv comedy, and I know you have a lot to say about what makes some of the bad comedy, but what do you think makes, like, really good improv comedy?
Good improv comedy, I think, is smart. And it's not just that it's smart, it's that it's obvious that the players have more in their brains to reference than, the OC and the last Simpson episode. It means that they read some books, that they have something a little more interesting on their minds.
Okay.
Because there's the concept of what is easy humor and what is not. And I think easy humor is the stuff that the audience can get. If the audience can already come up with the joke before you did, then why waste their time getting up and telling them that joke or doing that bit? Do something they didn't see coming, and they'll be much more happy. It'll be better. It's better comedy. That's my opinion.
Great. So, like, and maybe we only have 1 minute left, but do you have an
Okay.
example of a show that you think is really kind of pushing the boundaries in the city right now?
Yeah, actually, and it's at the Playground. It's called the Midnight Hell House.
Okay.
And it's going to be Fridays at midnight, and it is most scary haunted houses are there to scare the hell out of you. This is to scare the heaven in you.
So, would you say that this show, like, kind of embodies a lot of what you're talking about for production as well? And
Yeah,
then that
they
makes
spend
it
a
be
lot
good
of
show?
time. They've spent a lot of time creating props and costumes and characters that you won't see 5 improvisers. You'll see them playing characters they've spent months working on.
That's great.
And it's a smart, dark, offensive show.
Hey, you know what? And that is great, Don. Thank you so much for coming on
Thank
the
you.
show, Don. You know, ladies and gentlemen, that's about all the time we have. So, The Noob, why don't you come down here and play us out with a little song?